and I have my friend Patrick here, and we're going to talk about setting up Patrick's new computer. We're going to see about doing this as a live feed, so you'll be encouraged to say hi in the YouTube chat and join in the fun. Patrick, how are you?
I'm pretty good. What's going on?
Well, I
Oh,
guess
and I just got your notification for live, so I'm going to join your stream.
cool. So yeah, we only just need you to confirm we have good audio. And we're going to talk about good. I sound good. How do you sound? Computer. We're going
You
to see
sound good.
about doing this as a live feed, so you'll be encouraged to say hi in the YouTube chat and join in the fun. Patrick, how are you?
Pretty good.
We're good.
There we go.
Turn it off. Good. You sound good.
I just got your notification.
Good.
All right, all right.
So, you want to do an unboxing for those who aren't here and just explain the exact part numbers we're dealing with?
I sure would like to. Let me go ahead and get our camera set around.
Cool. All
How's
right.
that view for you? It
That
might take a
works.
second. Are you watching your stream?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, all right. All right. So anybody who's tuned in before, this is my Dell Latitude 3340 that me and Chris last month went ahead and installed a 500 gigabyte blue Western Digital SSD, and we also put 16 gigabytes of Crucial RAM into it, and upgraded the i3 motherboard to the max that it can possibly be. So in theory, this is a fully souped up i3. Well, I went out and I bought an i5 board. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the components that we upgraded, and we're going to just swap them over to this i5 board. And we've already ran the user benchmark for it. It's not going to be a huge increase, but it's going to be a 7% increase in performance all the way around the board, and $35 for a 7% increase. I'll take that. And after we put this logic board in, there is nothing more I can do to this PC to make it any better than what it will ever be. This is the best it's ever going to get. And to top this off, we went ahead and went to local Best Buy and grabbed some Corsair thermal paste, and to be able to make it possible, I went ahead and I got the iFixit Essential Electronics Toolkit.
Cool.
So I guess what we can do is we can go ahead and just power down the unit, because we definitely don't want to be working on it with power running through it, do we?
No, right. Yeah, you're going to remove the basic battery, the primary battery.
Right.
And I don't know if does the new motherboard have its own CMOS battery on it, a little watch battery?
No, it came just completely standard motherboard. All right, we
So,
lost our lights, so I'm hoping you can still see the video well.
yeah, we're good. With the lights still good.
Okay, I have already done the basic thing of pulling the bezel off the keyboard just to kind
Good.
of save some time.
Good.
Plug my USB extender. Battery's disconnected.
You want to explain your experience with computers so everyone knows, because I think you'll gain a lot of respect, and you'll encourage a lot of people if they know that you're actually not a technician.
I have put together in my lifetime, as far as computer experience and working on it, busting them open and taking apart the electronics. Back in 2018, I bought a halfway assembled mid tower. No name brand. It was a bunch of different mixed components together. I ended up finishing the build. The only thing that I did to that was I installed some red backlit fans and a water cooler, basic water cooler set up off Amazon. And that's all it ever was. So I added the water cooler and the fans to the motherboard, and that's about all I did to it. And this is the first laptop I've ever fooled with. And pretty much the only thing I've done on this is just swap over the HDD for the SSD, and swapped out the 4 gigabyte RAM card that it originally come with the 2 gigabytes, or with the 2 sticks of 8 gigabyte Crucial RAM. So not a lot. This is the second machine in my lifetime that I've taken apart.
Good.
This one being the first one that I've taken apart and upgraded. Here's actually the original stick of RAM that comes in this unit.
Okay.
So as far as per experience, I would say I'm definitely a novice.
Good. And I am your supervisor. I have a tech shop here in LA, and I'm the supervisor live from about 2,500 miles away.
All right. So we got the battery out. We got her folded over, and when I bought this unit, it had no screws in the back. I'm guessing they did some swapping around with probably hard drives, finding one that worked. That way they can sell it. So the burden was not on me to have to fight to get screws out. So this panel is actually easily removable. If you have one, you're probably going to have to take the screws out of it. Well, maybe. I usually can get it pretty easily. There we go. I do have an assortment of screws coming from Amazon, but for some reason my orders have been taking forever.
Yeah, it's always annoying when you have this cheap part that Amazon delays, and you don't know why. I mean, these days with the way the whole country is affected by the weather, it's hard to complain, but it is the way the world works.
Right. Okay, upon first look at this thing, let's do some looking here.
Okay.
So this is the current motherboard.
Before we do that, can you adjust it just slightly? Like the side that's towards your belly, can you prop it up a bit? Because there's a lot of reflectivity.
Right here?
No. Can you change the angle of the laptop? Like put it up slightly towards me? Yeah, like that. No, can you lift it up a little bit? Can you like angle it? The other way? No. Yeah, go ahead. If you want to do that and describe what we're looking at, that's fine. But if you angle it the other way, opposite of what you just did. Yeah, towards me. Keep going. And down. There we go. That way. There. That gets rid of the glare.
Okay.
There we go. So
I was just saying, before we start taking it apart, I think it'd be a good idea to compare these motherboards just to make sure that they are,
right.
Yes. Replaceable.
Before you start taking things out, you want to make sure all the physical connections are basically identical. Now, it's quite possible that there might be a feature on the new board or on the old board that doesn't exist on the other. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm hoping that's not the thing is I've never seen the i5 paired with the touchscreen unit.
Got it. Right.
I have a touchscreen.
Right.
So the ideal was I was going to get the best of both worlds. I was going to get the i5 with the touchscreen, which Dell never offered from the factory.
Got it.
So here's our new motherboard. And right away, it almost looks like it's a different color. It could be because it's been this pink packaging. So.
Yes. Packaging says a lot.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lighter shade of blue.
Does it basically look? Where did you get that motherboard?
I got this motherboard off eBay for $35.95 free shipping.
Did it say it was good?
It says it was. No, it didn't even say if it was good or bad. It said it was new, unopened, or new. It was advertised as new opened.
New open. That kind of implies that it boots, so you should be able to return it if it doesn't work.
Okay, and right out the gate, you can see we have all of our connectors are lining up. Spots for the RAM look to be identical.
Right.
I'm guessing that's our CPU. I've never seen a chip like that.
That's the chip.
I know they're.
Yeah, I think that's the actual chip CPU. Yeah. No, actually, the CPU is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So just compare it on the other motherboard. You see where the heatsink is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same chip. Yeah. Yeah, that's your CPU.
So me and Chris were talking because I was asking Chris previously before we went in on this venture if I needed a new heatsink or not, and we think that we're going to be able to reuse the one that I have.
Yep.
Okay, so the ideal is pretty much we're just going to take all the guts out and put our computer back together. The only complicated thing I see is maybe this heatsink. I don't think it's going to be too complicated.
No.
I knew that the chipsets or the chips were soldered in the motherboard, but it almost blended in so good when I first got opened it just now. I was like, where is my processor at?
Right. Yeah.
So, how would you like to proceed with this? Because this is something I've never done before. I've
Okay.
never taken it all the way out.
Okay, go put that motherboard in a safe place because we're going to concentrate on the old hardware right now.
All right. How about I just put her right back on top of the bag and put her out of the way for now?
Yeah, put it on the shelf so you're not going to bump it, drop it, or any of that. So why don't we just
Pokemon cards, huh?
pull out the RAM? You already did. Yeah, pull out the RAM, pull out the SSD.
Oh, I don't remember how to pull them out.
Oh, just so the clips on either side. The silver clips on either side of the chip. Pull them outwards, and they'll just pop. It'll just pop up. Yeah, like that.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. I don't know how else to describe those clips, but yeah, just do the same. Yep, pull gently. There you go. Good.
Expensive RAM, don't want to break.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I think it was like what, 40 or $50 or something.
No,
Enough.
You got the budget set up.
All right, we got our RAM out.
Take the SSD out now.
Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot that damn double-sided tape.
Where's the battery? You already took the battery out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Normally, on a modern machine, this is an older machine. On more modern machines, the battery would have been the first. I thought I was forgetting that.
Oh, it's still nice and sticky. You should be able to put that back in, but no problem.
Oh, that's right. We had that temporary stick stuff on there.
Yeah, the command strips, man. Those they work wonders. I highly recommend them.
Cool.
For not just these, but other little chores that you might have.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So now you get to break.
That's our Wi-Fi card.
Yeah, you can remove that. Now you know what
I know that my.
Okay, so here let's do this. So this is before this gets complicated. This is what I would consider a more simple hardware. Get your phone and take a picture of it before you undo anything. I'm guessing you've done that with car situations.
Well, I would, but we're on my phone.
Oh shoot! You don't have a second. Okay.
Well,
as good practice, if I'm taking apart a piece of hardware I don't take apart very often, I'll take a picture of it before I tear it all apart.
Right. Yeah, we don't have the option today.
All right. Okay. Well, we don't have that option, but anyway. So let's start with taking the heatsink out.
Okay. So we let's put this to the side here. Put this battery up here. We'll pull out our Essential Electronics Toolkit from iFixit.
Yes.
$29.95 at Best Buy. If you guys wanted to know how much it was and where to get it at. I would much rather have a name brand toolkit than one of the cheap ones from Amazon for the same price.
Yes, it's a harder metal. That's why you want to make sure you don't have a Phillips head screwdriver that deforms when you torque on it.
So it even comes in a nice little case that you can hang up in your garage or whatever when you're done.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty. Oh, there we go. All right. Got our guitar picks and what have you. Screwdriver, and we need a Phillips. That looks like this one might work. Let's try it out. All right, where do we start here?
Okay, so you remove the heatsink. Oh, yeah. So there's going to be 4 screws. You see how they're numbered?
I got 1, 2, 3.
So it's like a car tire. Do it in that order.
Okay, so it doesn't matter where I start.
Well, it matters when you put it back. It doesn't really matter when you undo it. But obviously you want to make sure you crisscross, not like in a circular motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it? So this is the only thing holding the heat sink down, and it all pops up
Oh,
as one.
possibly, but the fan also, I can't tell from here, might also have its own couple screws. Good. Okay. Oh, you know what? You probably have a screw underneath those cables. So can you remove those cables?
Remove the cables.
Yeah.
It looks like that one goes to my display.
You're going to need to undo those cables anyway.
I'm not too sure how to get to this cable.
Okay. I just want to make sure there's no screw underneath that because you're going to end up having to unplug it all anyway. Did you take the Wi-Fi card out yet? No, you didn't.
No, no.
Okay, because some of those wires, you're going to have two wires that go to the Wi-Fi card.
Oh, and another reason why you're probably better off getting an actual professional toolkit. That's magnetic.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. So if you did this all the time, you might also want a bowl with a magnet in it. But you're a mechanic.
And if you guys look,
yeah,
they actually put blue Loctite on there from the factory too.
Yep, that's the way Dell does it.
I like that. That's a good quality product.
Yes.
Let me see your Lenovo have that. All right. Okay, I got that off. Does this just slide out, or?
Where are your hands? What are you trying to look for?
I got. Looks like that's to the display.
That looks like it's too glary. There's the light's reflecting off of it. Can you turn the angle a bit? Yeah, that's the display. Pull straight up on that. That's what that tab is. It's a handle for 2 fingers.
Okay.
Just be slow and gentle, but it'll be a quick pop. It'll be like pulling a tooth. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
All right. That definitely looks like it pops out. It's just like pulling connectors off a car.
A little bit.
Oh. That one's not wanting to go. A little tedious.
Which wire is that?
This one is. Looks like the charger cable.
Okay. The cable that goes to the power outlet, right?
Yes. And it's like it. I'm starting to get it out.
Good.
There we go. So we got 2 down. That's so easy, almost a caveman could do it.
Almost a car man. Yeah. I was going to say, almost a car mechanic can do it.
Yeah, that too. What's the difference anyway, right?
Hardly.
Speaking of car mechanic, how you like that motorhome running away?
Oh man, I love it. I went and listened to it idle for 20 minutes just because I wanted to keep it going. So I love the fact that.
Nice.
Oh, did you hear? Oh, did you see my YouTube post of me showing off starting it on 1 turn?
Yeah, I showed my mom. My mom actually thinks you're a very handsome man.
Oh. Thanks.
That's kind of an awkward moment. I was like, yeah, he's around. I was like, yeah, he's around your age. Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. You know what? Check this out. This is something interesting to look at. So I found this extra connector here near my Wi-Fi card.
Yeah, I can't.
And it's got a.
Go ahead.
Can you check it out now?
Sorta. Move a little bit. Other way. You're opposite. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Yeah. So 2 of those are going to be the Wi-Fi, and then what other?
Well, that's the Wi-Fi card,
Yeah.
and here's
Oh
an
yeah.
extra unused connector
Oh, that's so
with
you
a
see where it
protective
says
sleeve.
WWAN?
Yeah.
That's if you had a cellular connection.
Ah, okay.
So that's why you would need
Well,
those.
I got the SIM card slot too,
Right. And
so.
that's also that would have been the cell phone account SIM card. That's what that's for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that an obsolete option today?
Yeah.
The
So like if you wanted to
WWAN?
pay AT&T or T-Mobile $30 a month to have a internet connection that's cellular powered, that's what you would do.
Can you still do that today, or is that no longer
Yeah,
an
yeah,
option?
I would imagine you still can. Like I got a T-Mobile account for my full-time Blackview camera in the car, so I could watch my
Oh,
camera.
really?
Yeah, so I could see what's going on in the car from here. So that's the same sort of idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we have that all that disconnected. Looks like the last thing we have here is the fan itself. I like the spudger tool.
Yeah. Okay. So you notice how it's plastic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's two reasons for that. One, you don't want to short circuit anything, and two, it's a softer plastic than what the plastics are made out of in a laptop because you want that to be the part that deforms versus you deforming or damaging the harder plastics that the laptop is made out of.
The part that you're working with, right?
Right. So that's the method to that madness.
And the Wi-Fi card should just unscrew, correct?
Yeah. It's only being held in by one screw, and then it'll
Yeah.
pop right out.
This is a PCLE mini port, correct?
I'm sorry. See? Tell me exactly what you just called that.
A PCLE mini port.
I guess that's what it's called.
It's got one screw holding it in. I was kind of nervous going in, but my nerves have calmed down since I started working. Something about machines just calms the nerves down.
Well, I think the word you're looking for is cathartic. Yeah, or therapeutic.
Cathartic,
Yes,
therapeutic.
yes. Now I've heard of people taking stuff apart just because it's good for their soul, not because there was something wrong.
And I tell you what, right now, I might as well just take this thing and throw it clear out the balcony and just get one of them USB drives because I think this old girl right here is on her last leg. That might actually be one of the
Yes,
next things and last things I need to
yes,
do for this
yes,
computer.
yes, yes. That would be an easy fix. So you just get a USB adapter. As long as you're okay with the protrusion, then
Let's
yes.
actually talk about that for a second for anybody else interested. If you have an older computer, particularly if it's around the 5 to 10 year mark like this one,
Yeah,
and you still have your original it's probably not so much that the card is going out. I'm sure this card is fine, but to understand that today we're running on Wi-Fi 6, and this is probably like a Wi-Fi 2.0 card, and
exactly.
it'll connect and disconnect, connect, disconnect. It pretty much fights the signal.
Yes, yes.
So your best bet would be is like we're doing now, just crack it open. You don't even have to crack it open to be honest. You can perfectly leave that in there, just like that, just fine, and just go to Amazon, eBay, Corsair, Best Buy, wherever you want to go and buy one of those. You can get a dongle type, it's kind of long and fat, or they make them as small and as simple as my Joule charger here these days, and they'll be far more effective than your factory card. Not that it's bad, it's just outdated.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then obviously, if you want to revisit this card by replacing it with an upgraded card, that's not necessarily easy to do because what's going to happen is you're going to have to deal with what exact hardware you replace it with, meaning you have to go manually find the driver because the card you buy is not going to come with the driver. It's not like the bad old days in the 90s when you had a CD with the driver. And
With the drive.
yeah, and the Windows updates may or may not have the driver for that hardware.
And if it's not archived somewhere on the internet,
Correct.
meaning it doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah,
you're just out that money.
right. Or if you bought a legacy card and it's no longer supported for like Windows 11 and it's the Windows 7 driver, I mean, technically that's not a valid. What I just said doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, but I'm trying to like if it's a Windows 10 driver, I think the driver set in 11 is the same, so it's not really a big deal. But to your point, Windows or Wi-Fi 6 is the latest. Um, what I'm thinking of is yes, drivers for these cards basically are not as easy to find as other parts.
Right.
Right. Sorry, I complicated the situation with more verbiage than it deserved.
Well, it looks like we are down to just a few connections left. We have, I'm not too sure what we're even taking apart at this point, to be honest.
What wires are you looking at?
Uh, we have this very small one right there.
Oh, that's
And
gonna be.
this,
Oh, is that the one that runs into the empty cables?
I'm not too sure. This is
Here,
on the
lift
other
up the empty
side.
cables. Let me see where those go.
Those are on this side.
No, the ones the WAN ones, the ones over where the cellular go. Yeah, where does it lift that up on camera? I can't. It's off camera.
I can't lift it up too far because it's integrated with the wiring over there.
Okay, so
Or wait a
that's
minute.
what I'm trying
There
to
we
figure
go.
out. I'm trying to figure out where it goes. I'm pretty sure it's part of the screen. It's the same
Okay.
wires that are for the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi antenna, it goes around the perimeter of the whole laptop screen. So
Okay.
be careful. Okay, so if that's like if that bundle is screwed to the motherboard, you're going to need to undo that so the screen can be removed.
Okay.
The screen's going to need to come out. I can see those hinges. They're part. They sandwich the motherboard in. So you're going to need to undo those hinges for the screen for the motherboard to come out. And for that to happen, you're going to need to unbundle those Wi-Fi cables or wires.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Oh, looking. Let me see my other motherboard. New one anyway. So the power port's not built into the motherboard.
On Dells, it's not usually. No, that's a cool thing. So if you snap that off, it's a $20 part.
Okay. Okay, so we're good then because my motherboard doesn't go underneath the bracketry. It literally ends there. It should pop right out.
Good, yeah. All right.
All right. Yep. Let me just confirm that. Oh, there we go. I should just leave it up a little bit like that. Give me some room to play with, huh?
Okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to direct you because, yeah, there's.
If we had better light, we'd be a little bit better, but.
Okay, so here's a little tip. You're going to see little triangles next to the motherboard screws. You see that?
Little triangles.
Tiny triangles, yes. This is the way Dell does it.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so that's how you remember those are the screws for the motherboard. And that there's not some like the screw. Let's just say, for example, the heatsink. That's not where one of the heatsink screws would go through. That's what those triangles are for.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, good.
All right. Well,
I was a Dell technician, and that's all I did for 3 years.
just taking apart motherboards,
For
huh?
Dell, yes. I literally probably around 5,000 computers.
Wow, that's actually quite a bit.
Yeah. That's what
All
allowed me to
right.
get
Don't
into my own
have.
thing.
The thing about these connectors is they're pretty tiny, so I don't want to put a lot of force on them.
Right?
Just take my time. Take my time. There we go. If I can do this with my oversized gorilla hands, and
Well, that's why we have tools.
oh, this one's being a little stubborn.
Yeah, you're not gonna
That's a
have
very thin wire.
for what? The Wi-Fi?
I'm not too sure what that goes to
Is
be
it a little
honest.
round wire, like a traditional wire?
No, I mean it's a very small wire, like less than a gauge.
Okay. Because I know the Wi-Fi wire and that WAN wire are all very thin.
There we go. Yeah, that's a real small one. That's actually two of them together, like microscopically small. All right. I think
Where were
that's
they?
it on that side of the board.
Yeah. Any other wires?
Yeah, we've got
The speakers. The speakers each might each have their own wire, or it might be one wire for all four little wires. Are
It looks like they're soldered together for one harness, so just for one plug.
Yeah, good. So just be gentle. Sometimes you kind of have to pull hard.
Yeah, I noticed these small ones take some manpower.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes you end up trying to use the tool and you almost deform them.
What I should have remembered is I know this CMOS battery is junk.
Oh, right. You can replace that exact one online, right?
Yeah, so I'll have to bust this open again, unfortunately. Which is right there, no big deal.
Right.
I'm tired of opening it.
That's what I was asking earlier. I didn't know if it came with one.
No, it's just bare logic board by itself.
Right.
Oh, this last one is tricky.
Which screw is it?
This is to the headphone jack.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the CMOS battery in there because I know it's junk anyway.
All right.
I don't need it to boot, do
I? Yeah, I think you need a CMOS battery.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, it retains the settings for the clock, which needs to function, and it retains the settings for the hard drive.
Which like I said, mine's bad anyway, so it doesn't even hold those settings. So I gotta push F1 every time.
I don't know that it'll actually function without it.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
It may, but it might not.
It's not coming off. Is it held in there with tape or something?
Yeah, it is. It's literally taped or glued on.
Okay. I just don't want to go prying too hard.
Yeah, so you're gonna go ahead and pry the board or pry the. There you go.
Got her.
Good, and you got it without breaking the connector. Good. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Gentle.
So I guess the heatsink would be the next thing to go.
Well, we got this. I don't know. Just to. Oh, that's one of those flip-up styles like Nintendo. Nintendo loves these style ribbon cables.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Be gentle. If you can't get it, just be gentle. Don't break it, because once those break, you're up a creek.
Yep, you got it. Well, I fixed one with super glue one time on a Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
But that's ghetto, and I'm not trying to do those ghetto repairs these days.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, I believe we are ready for the heatsink.
All right.
So let's get back to our handy-dandy screwdriver.
All right.
I'm going to take the heatsink off in 2 steps. I'm going to untorque it and then back it out the rest of the way in the final step on each one. Just like as if I was changing the head gasket.
There we go.
I would start inwards and work my way outwards. Huh. Maybe we got some more. No, that should be off. Oh, yep, there we go.
Yeah, the fan, it may or may not be part of the same part.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it is. But I'm also not trying to do some super pulling either.
Yeah, this should not be a difficult. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow. So this is everything that keeps a Dell cool, huh?
Yes.
Or a laptop.
Correct.
Huh.
Is there anything to blow out? Is there any lint or crap in the fence?
It looks like they went a little overkill on
Yeah.
the thermal paste, but
Good observation.
what do you think?
Yes,
I mean,
I can already tell it looks like a big old footprint. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Me myself, I would have just put a little dab on each thing.
That's correct. You know, okay, so by definition, what that thermal paste is supposed to do is fill in the little waves that are invisible to the human eye. So it's obviously not a perfectly flat surface. So you're only actually supposed to put barely more than enough to fill in what you're not able to see. You know how like when you shine light at what's basically flat but still enough waves to deflect the light?
Right.
Well, that's the sort of waviness that you're using to fill in. So what you need to do is basically put in a lot less than what you've seen. Yes.
The only thing that I wanted to do to verify before I swapped this board in was just to verify that it was actually an i5 board.
Right.
But even on this board, I'm not finding anything that states i3, i5, or even Intel for that matter.
Sometimes the chipset will be a little different and things will be laid out different, which will mean physically. What I've actually found is even like parts-people.com that have sent me motherboards and theoretically fully compatible are actually physically slightly different. And I've learned this the hard way where it is compatible, but I've had to finagle things to work them. And I've actually reported this back to them. It's like, you know, this board is only 97% identical to the prior board I had. So I don't know how that works. Like maybe they change vendors mid-chip or mid-cycle, but it's not 100% replacement.
It'd be a new design with the same internals, pretty much.
I don't know if it like if an engine manufacturer changes their supplier for the crankcase and things are just a little bit different because the supplier does things a little bit different.
Casting process might be different or something.
Yeah, that's the best analogy I can come up with.
Well, I think we're ready to pop the motherboard itself out now.
Okay, so what about those speakers? Do they need to come out first?
No, it looks like they're in front of the motherboard.
Okay. Yeah, I'm asking these questions because I don't have a super high resolution image here. Why don't you take the fan out? Can you get the fan out, or the fan little dog ears on the underside?
Yeah, it looks like it pops right out with 2 screws.
All right. I know sometimes the screws, the little plastic for the fan, actually is underneath the motherboard.
Oh, really? I think the keyboard plugs in on the other side of the motherboard. We might actually have to take the keyboard out too.
Yes, that is how that works. So oh, you took out the keyboard already, right?
Just the bezel.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good observation. I'm glad you mentioned that. You want to make sure you revisit the keyboard before we pull this out so you can undo that connection. Yes.
Okay. Be very gentle here. Fold her back over.
So these keyboards are fairly easy to get out. I think you have, what, 2 more screws to deal with?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws altogether.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure how much of it. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, you notice how those screws are covered by the bezel you took out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so if you'd never done this before, it's not something you would have obviously recognized.
Yeah, you would have to pop that bezel off first.
Right, exactly. That's my point.
A lot of these newer laptops I've noticed, they don't have removable bezels. They have
That's correct.
The keyboards are actually like built in. You know, they're not built in.
I call it inlaid. In fact, I just replaced one of those. Oh, this is a little different. It's not an inlaid keyboard, but it does look sort of like this, right?
It's set up like an inlay, yeah.
Yeah.
If that bezel was integrated with the frame itself, it would be an inlay computer.
Right. And then here is what the bottom of the keyboard looks like. So this particular keyboard has the keyboard itself, which is the wide ribbon cable. And then this little cable is for a little thumb controller for the mouse. Right Let's see if we can.
All right, we got just one big cable.
Okay, yeah. So you don't have any. It's not backlit supported, and it doesn't have a little eraser head mouse controller.
No, I actually wrote parts per, and they wrote me back, or no, I wrote people parts.
Parts
That's what I
people.
wrote. Parts people. Yeah, they actually wrote me back, sent me a long email.
Oh, really?
Telling me that this model never had the backlit option.
Okay.
That the motherboard didn't support it. I've actually planned to do a feature on that with you.
Okay.
To actually talk about adding that.
Well, if the motherboard has support, the only way you can add it is if you have a technical skill set that's a little different than mine. Meaning, basically, you're going to be soldering.
All right, yeah, I'll run through that here in a second. Let me disconnect this real quick. All right, the thing is the backlit keyboard is the exact same keyboard as this, right?
Yes.
The exact same one, except it has a backlit option.
Yes.
It has the same fat ribbon cable right here, and it has an additional smaller cable.
Like this, here, like this.
Well, I can't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, you don't have the YouTube the live feed. You're not looking at the live feed. Right.
But anyways, the backlit keyboard has an additional very small ribbon cable that comes out like that, and it's not like for example, to anybody, I'm trying to explain this both ways to people that don't know anything about anything and the people that have a small understanding about electronics. The best way that I can put it in layman's terms is that small ribbon cable is what operates the backlit section of the keyboard. It's what makes the lights work.
Correct.
A lot of people think that it's not like this keyboard has a microprocessor or controller built into it. So that ribbon has about 4 different contacts on it. One contact is going to be positive, one contact is going to be negative, and one contact is probably sending different voltages through it, which gives you your bright, middle, and low settings on the dimmer switch. So pretty much how I would have to set mine up, it would be a direct plug and play, so my keyboard would function as normal. But how I would have to add my light effect is I would, first off, on my 3 legs, I would take a power and I would find a hot section somewhere on my motherboard and, solder it into a hot point. And then I would take that same leg that has the voltage, which gives you your low, medium, and high brightness settings, and I would probably just tie that into the hot leg altogether and just have a bright keyboard all the time.
You can do that.
Yeah, it would probably suck. It would probably suck at dark time, but I would be able to live with it. And then you'll have your negative to ground, and you can put that anywhere on the chassis. Yeah. So in theory, you power up the laptop, and your backlight comes on all the time.
Right.
That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. Now, even if a motherboard has the connector for it, it could still be missing I don't know if I want to use the word controller, but everything you said made sense. But yeah, one, you need the controller, the little connector, but it's possible that if the motherboard didn't ship with that support, that you're not going to have the traces, or what you're calling the legs, that goes to a power source. So you would have
to make one.
Yeah, you'd have to manually create very thin wires that makes that happen.
Yeah, correct. Which would, I know it sounds simple and all, but that involves micro soldering, and that's a whole new game on it. Something I have no experience. I can solder halfway decent. I can make simple electronics work, but I've never tried micro soldering. I don't have a microscope to be able to even think about it. Looking at this keyboard, I can tell that it doesn't have a provision for it either, because if it did, it'd be right here, which is actually corresponds to that right there, which is where that small ribbon would go.
Right.
Something cool I'd like to add in the future when I get more technology experience under my belt. But moving on.
The fact that you're already a car mechanic has given you a huge leap. as far as you found this to be?
It gives me a very vast, basic understanding on how things work.
Right.
Yes, correct.
Right.
But to be able to execute it and actually put it together, I still have a long ways left to go. I don't plan to be any professional at all.
Well, I think you having that built-in skill of being a mechanic has meant that you're going to have an accelerated education.
Accelerated, correct? Yes. I definitely I can agree with that.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, I think the only thing holding this in, Chris, is the motherboard screws themselves. Should we take them out and see what it does?
Yeah. Now pay attention to where you put them. But don't lose them, and don't mix them up with the other screws.
Okay. So it looks like we have total.
The other thing I like to do is count them, because you don't want to put it all together and realize you forgot one.
Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not even. That's part of the headphone jack. I can leave that in there. So what? 5 screws? No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, and then you're going to be. It might kind of pop out because the connectors, like the HDMI port, the Ethernet, they kind of lip under the plastic side. So it's not just laying in there. You might have to kind of slightly pry it out. You shouldn't have to try too hard, but it won't necessarily fall out if you just flip it upside down.
I'm kind of laying these out in front of me, how they are mounted in a board.
Good. One of the things, like if you do this fairly often, you can get a magnetic pad, and it'll label where you want the screws to lay out, and it'll be magnetic so they don't roll around.
Yeah, after we put this one together, I definitely want to hop on one of those pallet deals and put a few of these together and see if we can share this experience with the audience.
Yes. No, I think
at a very good price for them too.
I think this channel, specifically novices, are the ones that we're going to get, because watching me train someone who isn't particularly skilled is going to increase a lot of confidence in people that are in your boat.
Oh yeah, and I mean now if you're a hardcore gamer and you're trying to play the newest whatever's out right now, take your insert title here. No, this isn't going to be for you. But if you're a casual gamer and you love those older titles from the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era, PlayStation 2, Nintendo games, what have you, this could literally hold your entire library. I'm talking thousands, a million games. That's not even probably exaggerating.
Right.
You could have one emulator to run everything that you ever owned. And a lot of people argue, well, that's illegal to download ROMs offline.
Right.
Yes and no. Let me tell you the legality of that. I own Street Racing Syndicate right here for PlayStation 2. I own it. I bought it. It's physically mine, okay?
Right.
It's a very old game, which mine still works. Well, let's say it was all scratched up, over the years of use. Because I legally purchased this, and whether it works or not, it doesn't matter. I just use that just for an example. I can go online, download the ROM, and I can play it legally.
Yeah, because you paid for the license.
Because I paid for the license. I have it right here.
Right.
Now, when you go online and you download a bunch of ROMs and you're loading, here's where you fall into the black zone of that. Let's say I've got this Nintendo Game Boy right here, and I have this custom Game Boy cartridge that has 1,000 games on it inserted in the Game Boy. I'm offering to sell this Game Boy for $100. Comes loaded with 500 games. Congratulations, buddy! You're now breaking the law. Not only are you pirating, but you're selling it as well.
Right.
Which is two separate charges.
Yep. Yes.
But if it's for personal use on something that you personally have bought and you have physical now, if you no longer have the physical copy to the game, you might be running into a gray area there.
Right.
Because then you don't have any proof. But if you literally have the proof, hey buddy, this is my game, I bought it, then it is what it is. That's just how retail works.
Right. Yes.
Okay, I think that was all the screws.
I still have my Napster collection, which is another story.
Wow. Old Napster.
Yeah.
Nothing screams 90s more than that right now.
99. Yeah.
You don't want to pop out very freely, it looks like.
See, that's what I mean. It's grabbing on something. This is where I'm going to have to leave it to you. I don't have enough of a high resolution image to know what's grabbing.
Right. I'm just going to work my way around. I'm in no big hurry here. Like Bob Ross. Even if we make a mistake, it'll be a happy little one.
Right.
There we go. Look at that. There she is in all her glory.
Here, oh, you got
well,
it.
guys,
Sweet. Sweet.
That's what she was held up on. I forgot to pop the SD card out. Well, see, that wasn't a very daunting task. You know, you take away the conversation that we've had for the last 30 minutes or so, and I feel confident I probably could have had that out in probably 10 minutes or less.
Yeah. Now that once you do one model, you only have to do it once to kind of get the gist of it.
Looking around in here, it looks like it. It looks like it's definitely been opened, like beyond. I almost feel like the motherboard's been out at one point in time in its life, just by the fingerprints and stuff that I see on it.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that when I used to get replacement motherboards from Dell directly when I did the warranty repair, they looked like that. They had the fingerprints all over them.
I was getting ready to say either that or they got some dirty fingers in the factory. You would think they would make them wear gloves.
Right. Yeah.
But I can see where they probably actually, you know what, I bet you they can't wear gloves because the cloth would always be getting caught on stuff like that.
They probably have the rubber ones.
Yeah. Now, like this one actually says, I think the other one says Dell all over it too, but none of them indicate like i3 board, i5 board, you know, nothing like that. So for all I know, somebody could have just sold me like a Celeron board, and actually I might be downgrading.
Well, is there any thermal grease on the new chip?
No.
Oh, okay. Does it have any labels on the actual chip?
No.
Okay.
No. Here's literally a direct comparison. What the alleged i5 board is actually a considerably lighter shade blues than the known i3 board.
Got it. Yep. They might have changed vendors. I don't know what the technical reason is or what you get or lose by changing colors or why. It might, I wonder if that's their identifier, how they can easily tell what chip it is.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, kind of excited to put this thing back together. How about you?
We can you do it, and then we can Google why they're different colors. Yeah.
Here, looks like the CMOS battery tape is still on that one.
Yeah.
Well, nothing to it but to do it, I guess. Okay.
Oh, I'm not the only one to Google this.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people have probably
question the
wanted to know about that.
Parts, right.
Especially people that are anal like me and gotta get the matching parts and gotta confirm that they match.
Right.
Well, it's definitely a direct fit.
Good.
So at least I know it's for this computer.
Good.
There we go. Popped her in.
Good.
Don't want to get hung up on none of these connectors.
No.
Here we go again, just kind of working our way around the board. No big hurry, don't want to break nothing.
Correct.
And it looks like she's nice and secured in there. Yeah. Got to get the Ethernet port better in there. But other than that, looks like it went in fairly well. Uh-oh.
What?
I got a little cable protrusion issue.
That's the sort of thing you got to pay attention to. That's what's going to slow you down.
Nothing too serious. I just got to kind of finesse it out of the way, that's all.
Ooh, it's only 44 degrees out here in LA.
Really?
Yeah. At the beach
Wow.
in Los Angeles, 44 degrees.
It is almost 70 degrees here.
Wow. Talk about a turnaround.
Gotta love the East Coast, man.
Yeah, I know. It's been unusually cold. I mean, it doesn't usually, I mean, it's been consistently in the low 40s. That's unusual for Los Angeles at the beach.
Yeah, for California, where it's always at least 65 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's what we're normally accustomed to. So
Yeah,
anyone watching this throughout the country is looking at me or rolling their eyes. Oh, what this idiot? He's whining because it's 44.
Yeah, people in Indiana right now are like in the 20s,
Right.
cussing you out.
Right.
Oh, come down here to the Midwest where it gets real. All right, I think it's good enough to be able to put the screws back in.
All
We'll
right.
start with that.
That might help.
Well,
Just make
before they get moved around.
Right. Here, let me. Which model is it again?
This is the Dell Latitude 3340, and that screw is not going in for whatever reason.
That's a. I'm putting in the chat the model number if anyone wants to know. It's a Dell what?
Dell Latitude 3340.
3040?
3340.
3340. There we are. Yeah, we haven't had anyone show up in the chat to say hi, but that's all right.
They can find us at a later time. It'll always be here on YouTube.
Yep. No, I think this is one of our better offerings. We finally got our audio going, so we're not missing half the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like it's set up pretty good this time.
Now, eventually we got to get you on another camera so we can get your face on there also.
Well, after we get this together and I can get my stream set up, this is what we'll be doing. We'll be working on other model computers and stuff. After this, this is 4th generation Intel. We're going to build us a 5th generation Intel next.
Yes.
And just kind of compare them. You know, the higher you get, like, just how good is old tech? I mean, is it still worth saving? In my opinion, yes.
Right. Well, so this will take Windows 10. The caveat there is that Windows 10 will be obsolete in about 2 years.
2 years.
Because that's when the last updates will be available. That's the argument.
Well, I guess you could always use Windows 10, but...
Right, but I tell people you don't really want to be caught using Windows 10 after you can no longer update it or any OS.
Update it.
Yeah. Like I tell people within the Apple side, if your system can no longer get the latest OS, it's obsolete, which makes it about a 5 or 6 year old computer.
Uh-oh. This one's not going back. Oh, wait a minute. I think it was up here. That's why. Yeah. Wrong spot. My bad.
That screw has other screw heads in its head, doesn't it? That handle, that blue handle, I think that pops off, doesn't it? No, wait. I don't think that one does that. No. I'm thinking.
What's that?
No, I thought the back side of that screwdriver was hiding handles in the back. Oh, is it?
No, it's not. I have them all right here.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them do that. Yeah.
All right, now here's the big part. Just making sure everything plugs back into where it fit.
Right. Just take your time.
Okay.
You didn't make any mistakes taking it apart. Just make
Oh,
sure the right now. Make sure you get all 5 of those screws in the motherboard.
yep, they're all in.
Good.
Putting the fan back in first.
Good.
Pretty much the order I took it apart.
Good. Yes.
I want them tight, but I don't want them torqued. Alright, she's plugged back in. Let me get my plastic exposure tool so I can confirm that it's clicked all the way in. Definitely don't want my fan halfway unplugged. Alright, I feel confident that's nice and secure.
Good.
Heat sink. That's real funky how that works. And you can tell it's a really high quality piece of copper because it's ice cold.
Right. Well, it's copper. Yeah.
And it's room temperature in here, so. Alright. Before I put this on, let's address this now. I've got my Corsair TM30
Right.
Performance Thermal Paste.
Right.
We still have some residue on here. I
Yeah.
don't have any sandpaper or anything.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, that's right. You don't have any thermal. What's it called? Alcohol.
No,
You don't have
I
any
got this smudger tool.
You have any? You don't have any of that stuff in, yeah, none of that stuff in the medicine cabinet.
No, I thought I had some rubbing alcohol, but I don't.
All right.
Well, smudger's getting it all pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be fine. You're not gonna. This isn't a deal breaker, so you'll be fine.
But that's definitely a step you don't want to skip. You want to get your old thermal compound off.
Yes, because I've done this and fixed a person's overheating computer.
You know what? I wonder if this might actually help my temperatures a little bit, because
It might.
this is just crazily overdone.
Right. It might run a little bit cooler.
The idea here is I'm trying to get back down to the bare metal.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Nice contact area. And I know it might sound aggressive, but I promise you I'm barely putting any pressure on this.
Good.
I'm letting the tool use all my work.
Good.
Or I'm letting it do all the work. I feel that. It's pretty smooth. I can tell all the compound's gone off of it. No residues coming back on my nail, so I think it's safe to assume that we have it all off.
Yeah, try not to get it on your clothes, because that's not coming off the clothes.
We'll just kind of brush that to the side. We don't need that anymore. Alright. Let's open up our Corsair TM30 Performance Thermal Paste. It wasn't the cheapest option.
Well, that's probably,
yeah.
You don't want
I
the
went with
cheapest
the
option.
mid-level.
Yeah, you don't want mid-grade or better is best. Not that you'd be shooting yourself in the foot in this situation. I mean, it might matter more in a more high-performance environment.
There's no thermal compound on my processor itself. Should I smudge this a little bit or just leave it alone?
In fact, you probably just... Are you going to put it on the heatsink or are you going to put it on there? Just do one or the other.
I was going to put the thermal compound on that and then put the heatsink on.
Yeah, do that because you'll be able to manage where it goes easier.
Okay, so should I do a dab here and like a line there?
Yeah, just barely more than a dab, yes. I mean, like you said, it does not need to be much more than a dab. I mean, less than the head of a thumbtack. You know what I mean?
Shit.
You know how big a thumbtack is.
She kind of struck open on me a little bit right there. Then I got some compound left for our next build, so worked out great. How do you think about that?
I can't really tell from here. The resolution's not very good, but it's if you overdid it, I wouldn't beat yourself up. Put her lift it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit more than you needed, but you're fine.
More.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It come out a little quicker than what I thought it was going to. All right, the heat sink is going back in. Oh crap! I accidentally touched it.
That's fine. Just wipe it off in your hands and not your clothes.
Right. There we go. Fold that flap down. Straight down. And then I got it straight down, and what I'm doing here is I'm holding my finger down on it. Just not firmly, but just enough where it's not moving around.
You're doing the number one
that
first? Way. You're doing the number one first?
Yep.
Good.
I'm going to put it back on the same way I put it on. I untorqued them halfway and then torque them back all the way tight. I guess I can go ahead and take my finger off of it now. Well, I'm going to go one more step with this. I want to make sure it's nice and tight for the best heat transfer I can get.
Yeah, basically go until the screw stops turning because it'll eventually bottom out. There you go.
All right. Moving on. Put our ribbon cable back in. We get our spudger. Oh. Huh. No, it's, oh, there we go. Let's fold up, flip up tight.
Let me see if I can make you bigger here. Make myself a little bit smaller here.
Forgot a motherboard screw. Shame on me.
Oh.
Shame on me. Well, I'm going to plug this one in first, because this one's the one with the real small wires on it. Alright, it's connected. Connected. Put our dinosaur land card back in.
was right. It goes in that way. We're almost done.
Yeah, you've done probably 75% of the work.
Yep, just got a few little connections left, and we'll be doing some booty stuff. Or hoping to,
Yes.
anyway. Okay, my research right. That I know that actually went like that. See, the thing about taking apart cars is why me and most of the world will take pictures on taking apart such a project like
Right.
that.
Right.
Because for the most part, you got pretty good photographic memory. But when you take apart something like that and you leave it apart for days,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, it's easy to remember when you're quick to return to the job.
But if you were just taking it apart for a split second,
Right.
you can almost get away with
Right.
just taking it apart and winging it.
No, I've learned that lesson the hard way. These days, I film a lot of that work so I can refer to the video. It's like, all right.
Video. Well, I know you go down on there. Yeah, these are set up just pretty much like a Nintendo DS to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, a lot of the modern stuff, gaming console is not much more than a regular PC.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm seeing that. Ooh, I guess I should probably tuck that into the factory cord retainers. And
I modified the video. You're actually the primary video. We were equal size. Now I finally got smart and made my screen smaller.
oh yeah,
Yeah, since this detail is really what matters. Eventually, we got to get you a good camera because it's a little fuzzy with the resolution.
yeah, that's crazy because I'm using my iPhone. We should be in 4K right now.
Right, but we also need to figure out, like, obviously we did this on the fly, but you've got some reflectivity issues. So we're going to have to set up a table for doing this exact work versus putting you on camera because you were set up and looking excellent for your face, but you weren't set up for
Well, if my lights were on, I think that would eliminate all that. But unfortunately,
right.
due to the nature of this, I had to cut the lights because
Well,
the
you're
lights
going to be able
powered
to
the
critique
PC.
your own video by watching this video. So,
Right.
yeah.
CMOS battery, and then I think that's it. That is a really small connector. Nope, I was right the first time. Some of these connectors are very, very small.
Yes. So that's where fingernails help out a lot.
And just boop, that's it. Just like a giant puzzle, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Yes, there you go. So you're pretty much the engine is back in its holster. Yes. So
Time to
the
put
Wi-Fi's plugged
supercharger
in.
back on.
Did you get the Wi-Fi wires back on?
Yeah.
Oh, you did, because those are very tricky connectors. They got to go straight on, and they're tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're literally set up just like a Nintendo DS.
Got it. Ah, so you're familiar with those connectors. I understand now.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's why I was like, wow, that's actually
Yeah, so those
stable.
wires run around. Oh, so we didn't actually have to remove the screen. Okay, I was wrong.
No,
I thought we were going to have to remove the screen.
no, didn't have to remove the screen. And here goes
Yeah.
back. Just
So the
strap
battery,
that back on.
the battery is externally accessible then.
Yes.
Got it. That's not the case with most modern hardware.
Yeah, the built-in.
Yeah.
Oh, now we have an issue to where the back doesn't want to go on. Though,
Okay,
so.
so you kind of goofed with the wire maybe? Make sure you don't pinch
Yeah.
any wires.
Ta-da. Oh, don't want to put the... Oh, wait a minute.
What'd you mess up?
That and the RAM.
Oh.
We're not doing that one on RAM.
Not really.
Well, almost. Almost. Not that this is a super big deal, but I want it on anyway, just because I pulled it off. I'm pretty sure it was on there like that. Or no, it was on this. Ah, okay. I see now. I made this for a reason. I'm sure it's got a habit of popping off under hard impacts or something.
Yeah.
And one more thing I noticed.
Yeah.
I got 5 screws sitting here. Go somewhere. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. They go to the keyboard. Listen to me. That's how I know I'm getting tired.
No. Don't worry about it. I make these mistakes. I have those thoughts too.
Yeah, like sitting here staring at these 5 screws. Like, wait a minute, what I screw up?
Yeah.
All right.
No. Yeah. No, I knew you, but I remember having the conversation as you were installing the 5 screws. So yes, you're going to do that to yourself. And in fact, I'm sure you've done that with cars too. It's like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, where does these go? Yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Right.
Or I'll be looking for the item that's in my hand.
Right. Oh, right. I'll do that. Yeah. Where are those keys?
Yeah, right here.
Yes.
Now we can put the back on.
Good.
There we go. We are very close to booting this thing up to an i5 for the first time.
I so hope this thing boots.
Oh, me too.
All right. So now
It's not. It's $35. Whatever. I mean, I'm not going to be incredibly angry about it, but.
Well, yeah, we didn't spend more than $40 on the motherboard. It's hard to complain, right?
Yeah, it was
That's
a
why I'm
gamble,
like-
a shot in the dark.
That's such a small amount of money to spend. It's like, darn it. I don't know.
And my display, that was my main thing, is I wanted to upgrade to the i5 while maintaining my touchscreen display.
Well, you kind of wonder what the history of this motherboard is. You don't know if it was dropped or maybe the screen got cracked on its original installation and it got parted out.
Yeah, it's definitely a mystery mark at this point.
Right.
Oh crap!
Sometimes I'll tell you it was parted out.
No, unfortunately, I didn't get any information on this. It stated it was new and opened.
Right. Someone might have connections and they bought them in bulk.
Oh, I cannot get this keyboard to go back in.
It is that.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I know why. Because I'm not putting it in right.
Yeah, so you should. I can't. Okay, so the camera's not being able. The camera needs to be moved. or you got to push the laptop towards us, towards me.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, as of right now, I gotta have it fully open just so I
Okay.
can get
Can you point?
get to the ribbon cable.
Can you move the camera slightly? Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. That's all we needed. Unfortunately, it's still pretty glary, but anyway. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, it's like not locking in my ribbon for some reason.
Right.
Huh.
Oh, is it a flip up or is it a insert?
No, it's a flip up.
Right. Is there a little line, a black, or it's a white line? I can see it.
Did it go in that way? I can't remember if it did or not.
Okay, hold on. Okay, put the keyboard in like you're. Turn it around. Put the space bar towards you. Now flip it upside down. Up. Yep. There you go. Okay. So yeah, that's how it goes in. So up. No. Flip it up. Okay. So I've never tried to describe this. Okay. No. Flip it up. No. Flip it. Turn it around. Okay. So. Yeah, turn it. No, turn keyboard. Make sure the space bar is towards your belly.
Yeah, it is.
No, turn it about upside. Show us the keys. Okay, good. Okay, now flip. Okay, good. Yeah. So you see how that blue is?
Yeah.
That blue is going to be facing the motherboard.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that. There. Yeah, so it's you see how that goes? Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember it going. I don't think it went in that side. It went in the other side.
I can't see. I don't have the resolution to see which side it's. But it should be pretty.
Yeah.
It's already folded correctly, so that should tell you how it folds in. Yeah. No, okay. Do this. Yeah, do that. There you go. There we go.
Yeah, that's how I had it before, but it's not locking in.
Can you put the phone closer so I can help? If I have a more.
Yeah, that's about as good as I can get it.
Shoot.
Hold
on, I'm trying to see.
There we go. It held up that time.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So now you see. Okay. Good. Now, before you get excited, you're going to put that battery in. Or actually, you should be able to just... here, before you even screw it in, let's see if we can get it to fire up in case you have to revisit that connector.
Well, let me put at least a couple in, at least to kind of hold it. Yeah, because I definitely want to make sure all my connectors are nice and tight. That's usually the stupid stuff that you got to find is a ribbon cable or something dumb.
Right.
Didn't
I'm
get
gonna
connected all the way.
I'm gonna go link your YouTube channel in the chat. I didn't have it before, so.
Okay.
What's your YouTube channel called? I can never remember.
Just Pokey Drive.
Pokey Drive.
Yep. Yeah, that one screw being enough to hold it right now.
Pokey Drive. What's the actual name of the channel? Pokey Drive, or what is it?
Pokey Drive, yeah.
G-O-K-I-K-E. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Pokey Drive. There we are.
Pokey Drive.
I forgot what your. Oh, there we are. I found it. Oh, you're up to 70 subscribers. All right.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
Share. Copy link. YouTube. There we go.
Uh-oh, I didn't boot.
It didn't boot? Did you put the battery in?
Yep.
Hold on. Let's see here. Plug it in.
Just like flashing off and on. Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
did you put the, oh, there we are. Good, 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 good. What's it say? Good, you got it.
Invalid configuration information. Please run setup program.
That's
Time of
fine.
day
That's
not
because
set.
we're probably dealing with
Yeah,
that bad CMOS
that's
battery. Yeah.
It always does that. Yep. So we're good with that. No
Good.
bootable device found.
Okay, it's not seeing your drive. Okay, so you're going to go into the BIOS and make sure that that SATA drive is set to be a included in the boot order.
Okay. So how do I do that?
F12. Well, you have to
I don't have
reboot.
it.
You have to reboot it and hit F12.
Okay. So just turn it off, turn it back on.
Or Control Alt Delete. If the key, we could, yeah, there we go. Good. The keyboard's plugged in properly. You can finish putting in the keyboard if you want. There we go. Hit F12. Start smashing that F12.
Yep, I am.
So we want to go to the boot settings. So BIOS setup is what it's called.
Okay.
And now we want to go to the boot settings. There you go. Somewhere on that left side. We can't quite see what's going on. Go to the
Boot
boot
sequence.
Yeah. So is a SATA number 1?
I have.
There we go. Good. Okay, so go. Oh, right. So this motherboard. So were you on legacy boot before? We didn't even think about that.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So you were probably on legacy boot, which is why it's not booting. But take a picture, or no? Yeah, go ahead and. Oh wait, we can't. You can't take a picture. But note that it's UEFI boot. You might have been on legacy boot. I don't remember. I think we filmed installing Windows on this, right?
Yes.
I don't remember if it was UEFI or legacy boot.
I have no idea.
We should have paid attention to this. Go back to the left side. I can't read anything that's on the left. Okay. Is there a boot order setting? Yeah, boot sequence.
Nah.
Oh, just go to legacy.
It won't let me.
Uncheck where it's. Oh, that's right. We have to change it so it doesn't say secure boot. Then go to where it says secure boot in the middle on the left. Yeah, there we go. So hit that plus, and then we have to make it so it's not on secure boot. Click it. Yep. There. Hit disabled.
Oh, my trackpad is being extra.
That's because it's using the basic driver because you're in the BIOS. It doesn't have the sensitivity settings that the more refined driver in Windows has.
Ah. All right, so we're going back to boot sequence.
Yes. Legacy.
Nope.
Let me see what's going on the right side. On the other, your other right. That's left. Good. Okay. It's not seeing the drive. Is it plugged in properly? Add a boot option.
Yeah.
Let me see. Add boot option. No, that's not what we want. Why is the SATA drive not being seen? That's weird. Are you okay? Now I'm wondering if you. Is there a chance you didn't insert it all the way?
Well, I can always power down and see.
Right. Because we're not really missing anything. It should be populating. Do you have a copy of Windows with you? Not that we're going to do this right now. I'm just kind of wondering. I wanted to see if we could get it to boot from a USB stick. But it should be booted, or it should see your internal SSD.
I don't even know where I would go to find it at.
Okay, don't worry about it. Power it all the way off. Check to make sure your SATA drive is all the way in.
Okay.
That's why we don't screw things shut until we get it to boot.
We got hot pretty quick. I hope I didn't.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. Nope, everything's good.
All right. Yeah, she's definitely in there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and put the cover back on, turn it back on, hit F12. No, actually go to F2 when you boot it.
Okay.
F2.
Oh.
Smash.
I gotta put the battery in.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
All right, F12, F12, F12. I'm sorry.
12.
I'm sorry, F2. I was wrong. F2. Doesn't matter. The boot order is what I care about. Go to a boot sequence again.
Boot sequence.
Right. Yeah, we should have checked this. We didn't know what setting it is. Can you get closer to the left side? There you go. Up higher a little bit. Post behavior.
Hang on a second.
What?
All right.
Okay. Post behavior. Go to secure system configuration. I wanted to see the drive. SATA operation. There we are. Go back. Go ahead. Let me see. Move the mouse. Move the. Yeah. AHCI, so it's not disabled. Move to the left. Yep. Okay. Make sure everything is enabled under the system configuration. Go to go to drivers. Oh, you can turn that off. You want it to say enabled, but not Pixie. Enabled.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This trackpad is very horrible.
Oh. Enabled. That'll make the machine boot faster because you don't need Pixie boot.
I can't turn it off. It doesn't let me.
Is it grayed out or is the mouse not moving for you?
No, it just flat out doesn't give me the option to turn it off.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, well that Pixie boot's going to slow your boot because it's trying to boot over a network. That's what that is. I need to see the drive.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So it's under enabled, right? Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to post behavior. SATA, good, that's checked. Miscellaneous devices, let me see what that says, or USB. Enabled. Post behavior. Go back and go down to post behavior. Yeah. Okay, no, this isn't giving us what we want. Go system logs, maintenance, visualize. Go back all the way to the top. General. Just click on general. Oh, there's nothing, no details. System information. Good. Okay. Does the drive show us what's in there? It sees the RAM. I can't, hold on. Where's the SATA? Where's the RAM? I mean, where's the SATA controller here? Scroll down, or move the mouse or the camera a little lower. I'm not seeing a hard drive. Bluetooth.
It's showing 500 gigabyte HDD.
Primary hard drive. Good. Okay, good. Yeah, it sees it. Good. Okay. Reboot
Well,
it.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It says it's an HDD. We have an SSD.
Yeah, but it doesn't. This machine is old enough to where it doesn't know what an SSD is. So you're fine.
Oh,
It is a
okay.
500, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Reboot. Hit F2. Yeah, so it does see it. Smash that F2. Oh. Go to boot. Go closer. Boot sequence. Hit the boot sequence again.
Boot sequence.
What do you have on the right side? Why is the drive not? See it default. Uncheck boot manager, or oh, go to secure boot. We didn't hit the save button. Secure boot. I can't see the top. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Secure boot enabled. Touch it. Yeah, now on the right. Yeah. Disable.
Okay.
Yeah, click yes. Are you sure? Good. Now we'll go back to the boot settings and go to what's it called? Yeah, there you go. Legacy. Go to legacy.
Yeah, I still don't get an option.
Uncheck the boot. Uncheck the boot. The Windows boot. Yep. There you go.
Nope.
Why? What are we missing? Secure boot. This is so frustrating. Go to the left again. We're missing something. Post behavior. Maintenance, visualization, post behavior. Go to performance. What's in there? Rapid start technology. Go ahead and just reboot this machine and don't hit anything. Let me see what happens.
Okay.
It's a 500 gig drive, right?
Yep.
All right. It says no boot. I can't read that. It's too fuzzy.
Yeah, it says no bootable devices found.
Okay, can you go on to the BIOS and just do a default, set as defaults?
What do you mean?
There's going to be a way to set all the defaults. Set all the settings back to factory specs. So go hit
So
F2. F2, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you know what we could do is we can go to the yeah, just go to load defaults. You see on the right? On the right? No, you're right. You're the right. Your lower. Yep. There we go. Yeah. There. Okay. Okay, now reboot it again. Control Alt Delete.
Yep.
We can go to the diagnostic settings and see if it sees the BIOS there. Are the bootable devices not found? See, the thing is, we don't know what the history of this board is. We don't know if this is the issue. Do the F5 for the diagnostics. Because we already know that your hard drive works or your SSD works.
Hola.
We are live.
Okay.
Can you have me a water from the fridge?
Sure.
Thanks. I'm helping my friend from South Carolina build a laptop.
Over the internet?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm doing a lot of talking because I'm his supervisor.
Right on. Boom.
Don't throw it at me. Thanks.
No shit.
Is it checking the drive? I can't see.
Yeah.
But it sees it. Did it populate it?
No, it's still checking everything.
But we know that you did all the hard work. All the hard work was correct. You didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
So we've confirmed, we've double checked that the drive is plugged in properly. The BIOS does see the drive. We're missing a checkbox. I'm sure that's all it is. You know what? I think we can cancel this. We already know it populates the drive, and we know your drive works.
Well, actually, it's still
it's testing.
not confirmed.
It's not confirmed, but it populated and it worked in the other motherboard. Okay, so this is where I want to know if you have a copy of Windows. Do you have that USB stick with you? I want to see you boot from the USB stick, and the USB stick in the installation routine should be able to see the drive. Did you find it?
Yeah, I got it.
So you got a
Still
copy of
on
Windows?
test.
Okay, plug it into the USB, and we're gonna go through the motions of installing Windows, but we're not going to go through that far. I just want to see if it sees the drive.
Okay. It's almost done with its test. Yeah, it definitely checked mark and recognizes my drive. Correct.
Yeah, that's really what matters. We know, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's just a checkbox.
This must have been some company motherboard ran on my network.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Your cell service just went all mucked up on us.
I said this must have been a motherboard they ran on my network that went through like a server.
Hold on. You're breaking up. Just a second. Give it a second. See if it fixes itself. I gotta plug my phone in. It's dying.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to do it at 20% more. That's where the audio started to degrade. Yeah, we're almost there.
You sound like crap. I don't know what's going on.
My phone's almost dead with a 20%.
You sound like a robot.
My phone's almost dead at 20%.
Okay, you're gonna need to plug in.
Unfortunately, I have no way to do that.
Okay, we're gonna have to recontinue this then. You don't have a place to plug your phone in?
No, I'm too short of a port. I gotta plug it in the bedroom.
All right, I guess we're gonna have a part 2 for this. All right, let's just do that. So it's good that we don't fix this right now. So let's revisit this tomorrow with a charged phone. We'll fix this with a charged phone tomorrow. We'll revisit this.
Okay.
Okay, so we've pretty much got everything. We just have to figure out what checkbox we need to get your drive to boot. The mistake we ultimately made was not paying attention to exactly what mode your boot was configured on in the original motherboard before we replaced it.
Okay.
So we're probably going to get this thing to boot with a checkbox. Your battery on your phone, which is doing your filming, is about to fail, which is why we're going to end this video here. but you did an excellent job at swapping out a motherboard. You had an original motherboard that worked. We're just doing an upgrade from an i3 to an i5. This motherboard looks like it should work, but we're just not sure exactly which checkbox we're missing because it's not allowing us to see your known good SSD. So that's where we stand. So do you have time to revisit this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, if you fix this on your own, just make a mental note so we can talk about it tomorrow live.
Alright.
All right?
Alright.
Okay, so are we going to meet again or tomorrow in the evening?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, cool. So, yeah, you don't have your charger with you. That's the other thing we got to work on next time. But otherwise, it was a pleasure trying to help you, or you were successful at swapping out a motherboard for that Dell, what is that thing? Latitude 3340. And I encourage everyone to show up, and this is more of the content that we'll be offering live from now on. All right, your phone's about to die. Go plug it in. Have a great rest of your evening. It's pretty late for you over in South Carolina. I'm in Los Angeles. It's only about 8. So we're going to call it quits tonight, and we'll see about getting this thing to boot tomorrow.
Alrighty.
All righty. Oh, your phone finally fixed itself, but your battery's almost dead.
Did it?
Yeah, it was weird. You sounded like a robot for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. You said that like right after I entered the notification for it going on 20%. That's probably what happened.
Weird. Okay.
But yeah, I can let it charge up if you freed up later on tonight, or we continue it tomorrow.
Let's do it tomorrow. I'm hungry, and I mean it's already pretty late for you, and we'll start fresh tomorrow.
Alrighty, heard that.
All right. Have a great day,
All right.
everyone, and Patrick, we're good.
Alrighty, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See ya.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Well, there we go. All right. So, my name is Chris. I'm the South Bay Tech Guru. I'm helping my friend Patrick, who's now gone, replace the motherboard for his Latitude 3340. He successfully performed the work, and we got it to turn on, but we can't see a bootable copy of Windows on his known good drive on his prior installed motherboard. So the whole point of this was to upgrade him from an i3 to an i5. Looks like we're going to get this thing going, and we'll figure this out tomorrow live, sometime in the evening. We don't know. Both of us have oddball schedules, so we'll figure out where we are tomorrow evening. I'm in Los Angeles. He's in South Carolina, so we don't even know exactly what time we're going to get this taken care of. But if this is the sort of content you like, subscribe to keep track of this. Most of this channel is live and unedited. I only edit to keep privacy at bay, and that's pretty much it. I am a South Bay based, or Los Angeles South Bay based IT guy, and I film the work when it makes sense. Have a nice day, everyone. 855-434-8787. If you want to be part of the show, call that number and we'll arrange it. If you just want a conversation, and a free conversation is what I'm also offering, I'll take that recording, and if it makes sense, I'll air it live here. Have a good night.